Okay, this is a 2006 BMW X5 3.0 liter engine. Service has been done recently. They've changed a valve cover gasket, valve cover, water separator, I think spark plugs, something like that. Tune-up's been done, and ever since they've done that, the car, it's not running right. So let's go. Codes, basically we have a bunch of it's just a random misfire. Come on. P0300, 302, 304, 305, so pretty much random misfire. And let's go to live data. I'm just going to look at the fuel trim, custom list. I'm going to fuel trim status, short long-term fuel trim. I can go, I guess, mass airflow sensor. And just go about all this. It's actually nice to have all of the oxygen sensors up to see if they're, let's see, I just want a voltage. So bank 1, bank 1, 2. Okay, that should do it. Okay. See, actually it just dies on me right away. I'm still in the open loop and no fuel trim correction yet. I think an oxygen sensors are pretty lean on both banks. This on a bank 2 is still kind of, it's not warm up yet, but you can see the upstream downstream on the bank. Let's see here, downstream, yeah, upstream and downstream on bank 1 is pretty lean, and same on bank 2. I didn't get my bank 2 sensor too, but that's okay. I mean, we can see that all of these sensors are lean and still in the open loop and fault. And I'm going to try to when I rev it up, it will go rich, but as soon as I let's see. So the upstream bank 1 and bank 2, they are pretty lean. But I can drive it rich when I rev it up. So this indicates a vacuum leak, and again, its problem is goes in it's in the open loop all the time. I cannot see the fuel trim, but anyway, I got a cover off. I'm looking for all these hoses to make sure everything is, you know, that everything is plugged in. I did a power balance test, it didn't change anything, and so anyway, what I found that this hose here is actually not hooked up, right on at the bottom, and it goes this hose here. So I need to figure out where it's going to. Let's see if you guys can see that right in here. So somewhere inside intake, there you go, it's died. So I have to find where this hose. They changed the boot as well, so everything is new. I think it leaks a little bit also on this valve gasket. but this hose is completely unplugged, so I need to find where it's at. Okay. Alright, I just got the boot off, and I can see actually this clamp here, the way it's been done, it's actually not holding anything. It's pretty much, it's not sealed on the throttle body, so I have to get that corrected. And I'm still looking for a place where this hose is supposed to go. Alright. Okay, so I did locate it where this hose goes to this actuator here. I'm not sure what's it for, but that's not a problem. So I got that hooked up, and now I'm gonna get this boot back on and see if he's gonna run any better. Okay. Alright, so I got everything apart, and I'm just gonna take my idle air control off so that I can get this hose, you know, secured very well. And then I noticed actually idle air control valve is just not, it's completely stuck. It's supposed to move, and this guy inside is completely shut. And it's kind of strange, it did not have a code for idle air control valve at all, but this thing is not going anywhere. It's shut. I had to try to clean it up. Interesting. Okay, and this thing is just really stuck in here. I'm really surprised they don't have idle air control valve code. But I'm afraid they put a little bit of some kind, you can see there's some kind of lubricant. I'm afraid it maybe got in it. When they changed this boot, they put some stuff around. I don't think it got inside of it, but this is definitely a problem. I mean, this just does not go at all. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and hopefully we'll fix it. Alright, I got everything cleaned up. Personally, I never had actually a lot of luck with this, but this is the best just to replace it. But for now, I think this will work. It was really gunked up, so it should be okay for a while. So I'm gonna put all this back together, and hopefully this will be fixed. Okay, got everything back together. I just noticed it as I didn't even look at it when I was taking everything apart. It doesn't even have an air filter in. It came from the shop like this. Wow. So, alright, well, let's start it up and see what happens. Idle air control valve was a problem for sure. So, okay, let's see what happens. Okay, let's see if it's gonna get any better. It should get better. I need to get that air filter in. Coolant is low as well. It still has a misfire. Put it in a gear. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if it's going to go to a closed loop now. Come on, there you go. The O2 sensor is still lean. Let's go ahead and clear the codes. Just see what. Okay, same codes. Well, it's not going to close loop. It's not doing any fuel correction yet. So. Okay, let's see what happens. A little long crank time this time. Wow. Okay, there you go. Pretty high fuel trim, both are in closed loop. That's a good sign. It's better. Still pretty lean. Both the upstream sensors are still peg lean, and as well as downstream. I'll have to get a smoke machine and it's a fault now. I'll have to smoke this engine and see what's going on. Okay. Alright guys, well he made it to my garage this morning. So yesterday, after we cleaned up the idle air control valve and checked the boot, we finally got the air filter this morning, and it runs better than what it was, you know, initially. It did actually die as soon as he pulled into the driveway. It kind of died again. So basically, it still misfires. So first, what I'm going to do, I checked my codes actually already, and all I have my basically just a misfire. Nothing else came up. So also I had a code for throttle body, but that was replaced with the aftermarket part, and I've told them to put the original back in because I wasn't sure if that's the problem in the first place. So that code did not come back anymore, so I assumed that was just as they were unplugging the components that was the code. I don't remember if I showed that yesterday, but I don't think that's the problem. So anyway, we got the air control valve taken care of, and so the first one I'm going to do, my oxygen sensors are still peg lean, upstream and downstream as well. So seems like it's just sucking the air from somewhere. But before I smoke the engine, I want to check my heater to make sure that the oxygen sensor are getting hot. So I'm just going to check the current on both upstream oxygen sensors, easy to get to it, and then I'm going to add some propane to system just to see if the O2 sensor is going to go rich, and if that's okay, I just want to rule out the oxygen sensor issue, and then we'll go to smoke the engine and see if you can find anything else. So okay, well, let's get to it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take my voltmeter. I've got a clamp, and I'm just going to get to my their oxygen sensor. Pretty easy to get to. I have two wide wires, just my heaters, and I'm just going to put my clamp around and check to make sure that we have the heaters are operational. So if they're not, they can cause, you know, of course, malfunction of the oxygen sensor. So. Still misfires big time. I mean, again, it had codes for pretty much all of the P0300 and all other cylinders. So, okay, so here's the first sensor. I've got the 150 millivolts, 1.5 amps, so this one is okay. And I'm going to go to the next one. Just the name, it's 150, 144, so 1.5 amps, that's okay as well. So my heater is not okay. Most of the time we're gonna have a code for if the heaters are bad, but because there's only one fuse feeds all four of the O2 sensors. So the next one, I'm gonna pop this little hose here and get some propane in the intake and see if I can force these oxygen sensor rich. And then there we go. So I got all O2 sensors pulled up already. And they're pretty much 0 volts. Okay, so what I did, I just got this hose right down at the boot, and I'm gonna connect my, I got my propane hooked up, and you can see that my upstream O2 sensors are pretty much down to nothing, down to 0, both of them are. So I'm gonna add some propane, and you can see the changes in the idle. And show the light. They're all working, so I'm gonna turn the propane off and we'll go back down lean. Okay. Alright, so next will be to smoke the engine. Alright, I got my smoke machine hooked up. I blocked my intake. And I think I found, it's kind of hard to see it, but actually I think you guys can see the smoke. It's coming from the crankcase valve. Let's look at, it's right beneath the intake manifold, and it's very commonplace. I'm not sure if you guys can see the smoke. If you let's see, if you kind of look right in here, we can see some smoke coming out right underneath the fuel rail. I think that, let's see, it's kind of hard to look to the camera, and I hope camera can pick it up. really, it's coming from that oil separator or crankcase valve, for sure. One of these hoses, this one or this one, they're cracked, so but it's just, I'm not sure. Actually right there, okay, there you go, that's better. There you go. Oh yeah, there you go. That's it, okay, there you go. So it's coming from that one of these hoses. So just have to take all that apart and do an inspection, and that's the problem right there. Okay. Okay, I just found another leak. It's right in there. It's very actually uncommon place. I've never seen these. Let's see if I can get the light. Right there. It's just the cap that's leaking. Okay. Yeah, just one more shot on this. Look at how much. This is a really large leak. Look at that. It's coming from that crankcase valve, or one of these hoses, and goes all the way around. I hope it's not the intake manifold. I don't think it is. Just a. But okay, it's time to take all this apart and fix it. Okay, I got the valve out. This is never easy to do. I mean, this is always kind of painful process. But anyway, this is the hose that was completely broken. This is the one that actually hooks to the bottom of the valve. It's connected down to a crankcase, and it was completely just broken. So I got everything new. I also replaced the spark plugs already, and I did clean up the other air control valve a little bit better. And a couple tips here. This is actually the purge valve. I didn't know when I was working before, the first time. I didn't know this is a purge valve. So to make the job a little bit easier, here's the bracket that holds the purge valve. If you take the bracket off, just two screws holds it to the intake manifold right here on the side. If you take that off, you're going to have better access to it. I also replaced this cap that was leaking. This is the first time I've seen that running in the back. You guys seen it with the smoke machine, but that's what I put a new cap on. It's just some kind of port that leads into the intake. I never seen that leaking before. And so something else also that you guys want to check, your purge evap purge line actually goes. It's right in here. Let's see, at the very top of the my mirror right there. You can see that. I'm gonna see. You just want to make sure that that valve is actually, I'm going to tag on it a little bit, and it's just kind of, it's a little elbow. It goes up into the intake. It's kind of behind the what's it called, throttle body, and you just kind of, you don't want to check that, make sure you don't have any leaks. This is pretty, it's okay. I don't have to worry about that, so it's fine. So anyway, we'll get all this together and see if it's gonna work. Okay. Okay, guys. Well, I got all this replaced. Got all the valve replaced, all the hoses and everything. There's new spark plugs, new air filter. We got the idle air control valve cleaned up. The boot is now in a good place. That hose that I didn't know where it's going to, that's the hose from the purge valve. Got all that together. I also replaced the O-ring on the DISA valve, even though it was okay. I replaced it as well, and so it runs a lot better. But now I have a single cylinder misfire, and it's pretty simple. Just do it. I couldn't do this, power balance test, because you know, it was just running so bad, so rough that, you know, I couldn't really figure out if there's some of the cylinders are misfiring, or is it just the vacuum leak that causes all the misfire. So after I took care of the vacuum leak and all these, and also I did replace the little rubber cap, I'm not sure where I put it, the rubber cap that was kind of behind the intake manifold. It was kind of weird. I've never seen that before, it leaks, but there's something else to kind of pay attention to. Right behind it on the driver's side, that rubber cap, that leaked as well. I had it somewhere, I'm not sure, it was just broken. I can't find it anymore. I had it somewhere, but anyway, so as I said, now we have a single cylinder misfire. I don't know where it's at, it doesn't matter. And but you know, I actually want to use this opportunity to show you guys my new toy. This is I've been actually looking for this for quite some time. I really want to I want to get better with the secondary ignition waveforms to use it for my diagnosis, and this is one of really nice tools. And this is a Snap-on SIA 2000, and you know, you can do direct injection, direct ignition system, the wave spark system. So and it's designed to be used with the Snap-on Modus, Varus, or whatever. But I'm going to use it with a picoscope, and I think it's a lot easier to set up. It gives you the better signals and everything. So I'll show you how everything is hooked up, and then I'll actually show you the deal that I got on eBay when I bought this. So in order to use this tool, you get these inductive pickups. You basically on your coil, you need to put your extension between the coil and the spark plug. So I made this there. You can actually buy. I actually got this one. I'm sorry, from Hantec, and I actually used it the other day. It's slipping off the spark plug, and I don't know. Now this end also, it was too loose, so I put the to hook it up to a coil. Actually, let me get the coil. I'm sorry, I think this is from the yeah, this is from the Sebring. So when you hook this up to a coil, it was too loose, so I put another shrink tube over. Now it's a good and snug fit. But this other end is supposed to, you know, hooked up to your spark plug. This one is keep popping up. I got two of them. One is fine, but this one is not. I'm not happy with this one at all. But they're like 15-20 bucks on eBay. But anyway, I made this. I'm gonna leave a link in description to how I made this. This is just a spark plug wire from Dodge Neon, and this end basically one that hooks up to your coil. That's basically a kind of spark plug, like what's. So this end was kind of hard to make it, so I make it like this, and so this ends will hooked up to your coil, and you know, of course, you plug in your coil to your electrical connector, and then you put this on your spark plug. Now you can get your inductive pickup here, and then you can get your secondary ignition signal, your secondary ignition. So so I got all the adapters on all my coils. So it's gonna be a 6-coil system, of course, 6-cylinder, and this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The firing order is 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, and 4, and so anyway, now we can see that I got everything hooked up to my you know, all the so basically I'm gonna have 6 cables. 4 of them is going to be on the positive, one's going to be on the negative, but actually doesn't really make a difference anyway. So and on a cylinder number 1, I'm going to have 3 channels. On the cylinder number 1, I'm going to have my sync. This is going to be my 3rd channel, and this is just another pickup. And so this is going to be the sync, and the rest of it is just hooked up to my adapters. Pretty simple. You don't have to worry about which way to hook this up, as long as you hook it up. That's the beauty of this. It doesn't really matter which way you hook these probes, I mean to these cables, these pickup probes, because you're going to have a sink anyway. That's going to be so whichever way you plug this in, it doesn't really matter. So, and you can see it's just everything is hooked up, and just comes from the you know, main tool, whatever. So now you follow your leads. You're going to have two channels. What you can do actually, you can actually piggyback green and yellow channel and have everything on one channel, but the signal is not as good. So I think it's better if you separate the channels. So now I have a BNC adapter on channel A. So the red lead goes to from my A channel goes to my yellow lead here, and the ground goes to the ground from the SA2000. The second channel, channel B, is going to be hooked up to the green lead, like that, and then I'll piggyback my ground. Okay, I just put this adapter and I just hook it up to my, this is my ground lead. You can see, so so the ground here, and just put all that together, and you're pretty much ready to go. And of course, this is my third channel. It's just another, it's a separate cable and separate inductive pickup probe, and that's going to be completely separate from the from this setup. So this is, and it's right there. It's right in here. And make sure to get your ground leads from these pickups hooked up to your ground on your block. And as I said, that this is my firing order 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, and 4. And let's get to a picoscope, and then we'll get the waveform. Okay. So as I said, now what I did actually, I kind of made up formula for this output voltage that comes from, you know, that we get from this. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but anyway, what I did actually, I made this formula for my Snap-on SI2000 just by add it here, and so what you do, I made like a minus 10,000. You need to invert your channel basically, and then so I'm not sure what we have to do on the Waveform system. That's going to be, you just have to, one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative, so you know, it shouldn't be a big of a deal either. So as long as you invert one channel, you're going to be okay. So this is what I did, minus 10,000, and we just set up the rest of the KVs and whatever, and then and okay, and basically I have all three channels at 50 kV. I'm going to move this to 50 kV as well, and I have a again, this kV. I mean, that's kind of, you know, I still have to kind of play with this formula and make sure that I'm getting the most accurate reading, you know, most accurate way that Pico can calculate my kV according to input from this tool. But we'll see. I think for now it works okay. So before we do this, I'm just going to show you actually the deal that I've got on eBay, and this is like a week ago, and this is the Vantage Pro that I've got. In this kit I pay 559 bucks, Vantage Pro with that's it, and then I have a green lead and black and some couple leads here, another inductive pickup probe, another single cable for the inductive pickup probe, and then I've got SA2000 that, and then all this attachment as well, this cable. So everything I've got for 560 bucks, and that's a steal. And that's actually also I got the RPM probe as well. So I'm gonna sell some of the stuff. I actually already sold it. So basically I got this thing for free. So, but anyway, that's how I got this tool, and I really like it. So let's go back to Picoscope. And now, as I said, this is going to be my like the red and blue channel. That's going to be my firing order from my cylinders. I don't really care as I said, it doesn't really matter which way, what cable goes where, as long as you get it all hooked up. It really doesn't matter. That's the beauty of this thing. And the green channel is going to be my sink, and that's what really matters. Now you can actually, by looking at the firing order, you will figure out what cylinder is misfiring, or having a problem anyway. And so, as I said, I got I got my trigger of the green channel. So okay, let's start it up, and let's see what. Let's see, I'm gonna jack it up to like 200 milliseconds per. We can kind of get the blue and red channel together, like so. Okay, all right. All right, we have enough data, and we can stop it and then shut the car off. And just go here, and I'm gonna zoom in, and actually my my trigger, actually I didn't set the trigger right, but it doesn't really matter actually. This is again nice thing about picoscope. We can just kind of move this when you let it roll like this. When you got enough data, you don't really need the trigger at all. And now we can see that this is my this is a multi-strike system like what the Fords are using. Let's see how many times. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, it's kind of interesting. And so anyway, so this is the channel number. I'm sorry, the cylinder number 1. So I got 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, and then 4. So clearly we are missing the firing event on number 2. It's not there. So let's change this coil, and again, I mean, this can be done by just simply doing the cylinder balance test, but I couldn't do it earlier because of such a large vacuum leak. I mean, the whole engine was just stumbling and all that. So anyway, I've got the new coil, and as I said, this is going to be a so did say 1, 3, I'm going to say 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, and 4. So cylinder number 2, and here's my coil, and this. And this is great for like intermittent problems and things like that. I mean, this is just, I mean, I'm very excited about this tool actually. Okay, all right. Got the coil plugged in. Okay, and then we'll let it roll again. Yep. Looks like I didn't plug it in right. I replaced the number 3 actually. Oh gosh. Yeah. It's funny. I got the wrong coil, so let's see. Oh, wait a minute. What a misfire. Got 1, 5, 3, 6, 2. Yeah, I'm on a good. Yeah, yeah, I replaced the good coil. Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, I have to start cutting. What I did actually, I left number 2 and I replaced coil number, what did I replace number 3 instead of number 2. Okay, whatever. Let me, I need to shut the car off. Do this, it's still gonna misfire because it shuts down the cylinders. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I messed it up. I replaced the wrong coil, so okay, that's kind of funny. Alright, so we got enough data, let's shut it off. And basically I replaced the good coil instead of bad coil. Alright, so let's go back here, and now we can see 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, and 4. And alright, so there's something interesting about the aftermarket coil. It seems like this kind of sloped down more than the other ones. Let's see. Now here's the I'm sorry. This is my aftermarket coil. See how much, that's interesting right there. So so 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, and 4. So and this number 4 kind of looks suspicious too. Actually, number 4 and number 1 are kind of the same. Kind of low kV on it for some reason. Let's start it up again. I need a I got my trigger here, and so this is that's actually okay. Yeah, they're fine. But this is the nice thing about this snap-on tool, kind of with the picoscope now. You know, we can see all the details we want to see. I mean, it's just I mean, this is great. I love it. I mean, that's pretty cool. it really gives us nice secondary ignition waveform. I really like it. Okay, well, this is what I want to show you guys anyway. We had a bad coil along with other stuff that was done on this car, so I don't want to make too much of this video, but let's go get the skin tool, check the fuel trim, and then we can wrap this up, I guess. Alright, let's see the fuel trim right now, and we can see the O2 sensors are switching the way they should. However, I'm a little actually on the rich side now on my short term. It's kind of interesting that they don't even the long term doesn't really change much at all. The long term is at 0, so I'm not sure what the strategy there is, but I don't know. But anyway, the O2 sensors are okay, working fine. But I'm a little positive on bank 1 and negative on bank 1 and bank 2. I think what I need to do, I need to change oil, and I think that they'll take care of that problem for sure. And runs pretty good now, so I'm pretty happy. The minus 14, it definitely needs a oil change. So let's just rev it real quick, and you guys can see how the everything here looks okay. Temperature is good, the idle is okay, and no more stalling. It's fine. Responds pretty well. So okay, well, that's it. Thank you guys, and see you next time. Bye bye.